In order to practice how to add value using the charcoal and Conte, we're going to need to draw out some areas to practice. And so if you look in your art PPE and your art supplies, you were given some gray paper. And this is not ordinary paper. This is Canson My Tens paper. It's really good for a color pencil, but in particular I like it for pastel or charcoal, because it comes in different colors and you can use the color to represent the value just like you can in your mixed media paper. So first you want to figure out what the paper surface is, where the tooth is. So on one side of it, it's really, really smooth, and some of you might be lucky enough that there's a sticker on the back of it. And then there's one side that's got the tooth of it, so it's kind of bumpy. You want the bumpy side up, and you can really see the bumpiness of the tooth of the paper showing in the sample here. So we want that side up because that's the part that grips and allows us to have the paper show as value. Now, I was not able to print out the handouts like I have in past years on the pieces of paper. So you all have a 12x9 sheet of paper that you can use for your practice. And so what I'm going to have you guys do is get yourself some sort of like cup or a compass and try to have it so that it's at least about 3 inches in diameter so that you have a big area to practice. In your portraits, you're going to have big shapes. You're going to have cheeks and foreheads and chins and fabric. And so I want you to learn how to do this in large areas first. And so you can trace this circle. Now on this sample, we practiced twice, but I would probably suggest doing it a little bit higher up in the paper. That way, if you make a mistake, you have space to try it again if you need to. So let's first start by just drawing ourselves along the edge. We're going to go down about 1 inch, right? And then I'd like you to draw at 2. So we're going to go line up on the edge. We're going to make a tick mark at 1 and then at 2. And I'd like you to do that on both sides. And you're going to do this nice and light. You don't want to press so there's no grooves. And you're going to go ahead and connect them. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, I don't really necessarily want us to draw on the edge because then you'll make a mess on your table. So I'm going to kind of move in about maybe a 1/2 inch. And then let's make this, right, about 3 inches long so that we have some practice. Or here, let's do this. I'm gonna go 4 inches in, right? So from the edge, I'll go 4. That's pretty much exactly what I have on the paper that I printed. So this is 1 inch by 3.5. And I think what I'm going to have you guys do is do this again on the other side. So like a 1/2 inch. And we'll go 3.5 inches. So if yours is not exactly the same as mine, that's okay. But we want 2 different places where we can put our scales. So we'll do our scales side by side together, right at the top, and then we'll do the circles underneath of them, just so that it's a little bit faster for us to draw this out. So take some time to draw this out. Remember, this is a 1/2 inch in between. These are 3.5 inches, right? And then it's 1 inch on each side. And then we can go ahead, once we have that done, we can lay down our cup, or we can use a compass to make a circle, right? That is at least 3 inches. Okay, so we're gonna use that to basically do this. And if we make a mistake, look at all this extra paper that we can use to practice on.